The Swift Hall, located in the very heart of Belize City, makes a firm stand as a beacon of hope, bringing people together for all times, just as its namesake, 87-year-old Brother Carl Darlin Swift, S.J., one of the well-known personalities of our time. This week in our feature story, we take a look at the man and his legacy, a much-needed community center that serves our community in much the same way that its namesake did.
Brother Carl Swift is I would say, legendary Jesuit in Belize. He's definitely the oldest Jesuit in Belize. He's the oldest member of our community. He's 87 years old. And he's just been a really, really important member of the church and of the community and of the nation in Belize. He has been kind of a pioneer in education. He was one of the founding fathers of the St. Martin Parish. He helped get this parish going in the early 70s. He was one of the founders of Excelsior High School. So he's really been committed to education on the South Side, helping kids with a lot of, low income and other families to try and get an education. He's been a real model there. And he's actually a national hero of the country of Belize as well. So he was kind of a natural choice.
But was our beloved Brother Swift always a natural choice?
I don't have no mindset for being no Jesuit. You couldn't pay me for being no Jesuit or nothing while I was working. I was young, about 18, 19, but I was a little big shot. I used to run this big building for Castro and this big yacht boat from Florida. And I was living like a little king, so me pay me for being no Jesuit priest or brother or even, bishop. But the good Lord have his way when he wants you. At the age of 28, had a hurricane, 61. The good Lord sent a hurricane to get me, 61 hurricane. I was Santiago Castillo bartender. I was 28 then, and the hurricane came and it didn't destroy the bar, but the big door hadn't double door like that. The water came and bust it open. And then looters came in and they steal out everything. The big deep freeze, the beer, stout, champagne, whiskey. We used to sell everything. And looters went with everything. Bar destroyed, boat destroyed. So I was at the mercy of the good Lord. I was just leaning on the good Lord. I never have nobody else to lean on. So I lean on Jesus, and so Jesus could do what he wanted me, and that's precisely what he wanted. That's why he permitted the hurricane to come to destroy the bar and boat.
So at age 28, with nowhere to turn, Bro Swift, as he is affectionately known, ended up seeking out a longtime friend.
But he was the priest in charge at San Pedro. And then we got to know me. So he used to go to the Key every week. Saturday we have this trip. We drop people to Key Kaka, then San Pedro. And then I would give Father Ras a free trip. I said, Father Ras, you could ride the boat. You don't have to pay any drink you want. I had one bar on the boat too. Anything you want, drink or eat free. We had one cook on the boat. Everything free for you, Father. So he was surprised. He was surprised when I stepped up at St. John's College in morning. So morning for Raf and Raskowski. And I said, what happened to you, Swift? I said, I'd like to be a Jesuit brother. And then right away he said, what happened to your bar? What happened to your boat? I said, the hurricane destroyed that. And so he said, well, so that's not a good reason for you to be a Jesuit brother, because you lose your barn boat. He said, right now, the person who are talking, he said, maybe the hurricane in your head is talking, send it. Just the hurricane kind of have you traumatized, that no, you want to be one Jesuit. So that's not a good reason. If you want to be a Jesuit, you have to come back 1 year at a time.
And just like clockwork, he returned after 1 year had passed to begin his life of beautiful service, but perhaps this calling was deep inside his heart for some time.
I used to go to Chetumal, and in Chetumal, I bought a little black statue, like a beautifully black statue with a rosary and a dog and a broom. You know where that statue means? St. Martin de Porres. Martin de Porres. And I had it right in my room. I had my bed there, and I have a little table, like an altar with this. Every morning I get up, I say my prayers, and before I go to work, I used to say, St. Martin de Porres, please help me to be like you. I didn't know what I was asking for, you know. St. Martin, help me to be like you. And I say that, and I go to work. But I just decide like, oh, that joke. I never want to be like him. I'm too interested in my bar and port.
Of course, God did have his way and his plans and his purposes unfolded beautifully.
So I get back here in 1970. About 1970, December the 15th, I went to live at St. John's College for 2 weeks. Then they said, we'll transfer you to St. Martin de Porres. St. Martin de Porres, the little black statue I used to pray. Help me to be like you. You have to be careful what you ask and pray for, you know. In life, you have to be careful. Help me to be like you, St. Martin, help me to. Well, that's exactly what he did. He sent me here. Like when I had a new rectory up there, but no church. We used to use one of the classrooms for a church, our first building. I mean, with the school, the church. On Sunday, we have mass up there, no church. The priests I was living with every week, you have to go to the district to teach teachers religion, CCD program. So the only person used to be at Martin and myself for 2 years. I live up there by myself and I run it. So I say, but I can't run this place by myself and build a church. And so I decide, well, and I suppose the Holy Spirit there in me and Jesus and all that, so I don't know. And the man said, get some help. So I said, well, I will organize, but I had a meeting, I call a meeting. And I attend the meeting, men and women, I invite men and women, but only women attend the meeting. So I said, okay, I will pick 25 women, and I will name you as St. Martin de Porres Women Group. So I get with this lady and say, we have a meeting. I say, guess what? When I have no priest by myself, I am a brother. I'm a brother and a priest in one. I said, this is our area. We have to build one church. This stuff we Belize. We build anything here, this and stay here. Church, the first church was built by the pioneers. So these were the ladies that, the pioneers at St. Martin de Porres. Loyola Leslie, Anita Rosado, Gilda Flowers, Grace Burns, Sterling Garba, Doreen Golab, Dorothy Drex, Miriam Pilgrim, Miriam Belide, Castula Westby, Celestina Harris. All these women were saintly, good women. So I was in a group of some good women. Veronica, Arlene Cooper and Holiday, Veronica Smith. Veronica Smith's husband was the mayor, I believe, 2 different towns. Hortense Hals, Hortense Gill, Jean Leslie, Isolina Enriquez, the Pice sister, 4th sister, Barbara Arnold, Catherine Sanctus, Sheena Lizama. Well, not all of them were in my group, but most of them.
This group came together and worked tirelessly and built the St. Martin's de Porres Parish Church. Brother Swift embodied the greatest commandment. As a lover of people, he continued to use this secret weapon to win over everyone.
So I said, okay, Billis, we don't have one church now. So what we'll do now, I treat them like how Jesus treated the apostles. I said, we're going around by 2, assign you all 2. And this was our area back there. I said, we visit home, you have to visit home, invite people to come to church and win over these people. But the secret is to win people. Number 1, you know, cost you a penny to be nice to people. Write that down on your heart. You know, cost you 1 cent to be nice to people. 2, you kill people with love. Many young people gang them, they kill people with gunmen. No, you don't kill them with gun. You kill them with love, you love them to death. I used to tell my students, I taught 30 years Excel, so I taught a lot of the gangs. I used to say, if you ever come to me down, God, I will love you to death. They go and they fly right out your hand into my hand. And they laugh and laugh. I said, anyone who don't have any gun in my classroom, you better get out of my classroom, go on the campus and take your tongue and dig your grave. And they laugh. I find me funny. So, anyhow, So I said, okay, we invite people to come to church. In those days, we didn't have no TV, back here no television. We never even have back at this area. This area built 1975. I can live here 70. So back here was pure bush. The last house was here was Carlos Diaz. There's me and Mandela Prince. And so, well, we have to give them people some activities. I said, well, I will start to play bingo with them in the classroom. Bingo. Tuesday night, Friday night, Sunday afternoon. I learned to play professional bingo in New York and Colorado. So I said, we'll do that, bring them together. Just charge them 10 cents a game and we start to make money. Then I brought Block Party from New York. We hear about Block Party with Having Street. Well, that was one swift thing to believe. Then I brought five-a-side football. I used to play for boys and girls to put some activity in the area, because this area needs a lot of activity. When the bingo started to die out, I said, what else can I do for the people back here? Like when Lee Angel get in my head and said, Brother Swift, excursion, take them to Chetumal, Caleritas, So I started the first murder in Mexico City trip. I started to take people to murder for cataract on the eyes, because in days we never have no ophthalmologist. We had one Lee hospital with few doctors and never have medication. So I started to take them to murder. My biggest thing, you see, I'm a people person. I'm a people person. So when I carry them people at murder hospital and I see them get their foot, they get their cataract, cut their new heart, their new face, whatever they want, and they're happy and they laugh. When they're happy, I'm happy. I get my strength and happiness from people. When they sad and cry, I cry. Then I go to people and murder and that and some of them. And the doctor say, I have this and start to cry and that, and I start to cry. So my biggest legacy is my thing is like what I preach. Make people happy. You don't cost you a penny to make people happy. And kill people with love. Not kill them with knife and gun and machete. You have more power than knife, machete and gun. Love. You love people to death. And then while you doing that, be nice to people and that, God say, if you not have to nice to my people, you have respect for your father and mother, you have respect for the elderly, you not take advantage of poor people. Jesus said, if you could do all that, pray to me, go to my church, because God for. Jesus said, if you could do all that, he said, you know what I'll do for you? I will respect and honor you.
And true to God's word, the people of St. Martin's Parish came together not after his passing, but when he has much life to live, to honor this humble man, Brother Carl Darland Swift. Today, the Swift Hall, which was dedicated on July 1st, 2018, stands as a beacon of hope in honor of a man who lived by the greatest commandment, love, and did for all his life exactly what the Swift Hall does today.
I think this hall has definitely helped us build community. For example, every November 3rd, the Feast of St. Martin de Porres, we have a big mass for our feast day as a parish in Swift Hall. And last year, the place was packed. It was wonderful to be able to get the whole parish under one roof. We don't have a particularly big church, so to have that kind of celebration, all the different masses and the different constituencies of our parish under one roof, it was a really beautiful celebration. So that's one example, but we have lots of other things too. For example, we have a seniors group in the neighborhood that St. Vincent de Paul Society helps out with, and they have a Christmas dinner every year, and so we have, 100, 200 seniors from the neighborhood in here for a big dinner Santa Claus comes and dances a little bit. All kinds of events like that. This place is really great to bring the community together, and we just couldn't do it without it. Then there are other events too that aren't necessarily parish events, but we do rent the hall out. So on any given Saturday, now this is different during COVID times, but usually on any given Saturday, there will be a wedding reception over here, or somebody's 50th anniversary, or some other party bringing people together. So we rent it out and try and get the community to use it that way too. A lot of the funding came through an organization called Belize 2020, which was an organization of a number of donors in the United States, primarily in the St. Louis, Missouri area, who were really committed to partnering with the parish and with Belize. They're all strong Catholics. A lot of them have been former parishioners of Father Matt Rule when he was assigned up in St. Louis and Kansas City. And they just wanted to do something to help Belize out. So a lot of the funding came through Belize 2020, but there was, like any big project like this, there's a lot of people that help out. A whole lot of community partners in Belize here too that made it happen.
Special thanks for Father Jeremy Zippel for helping us to bring you this story.